I'm not sure if I'm back in the Twilight Zone or if there's actually someone in attendance here tonight in a huge purple bong costume with a guitar. While some people here think dressing up, laughing, singing...
Excuse me, sir. You don't interrupt and put your phone down. You're not sitting there taping in her face. You already talked to. Ma'am, go on.
I'm going to repeat that sentence. In attendance here tonight in a huge purple bong costume with a guitar, while some people here think dressing up, laughing and singing, making a joke of this is appropriate. I find it insulting that a town hall meeting voting on such an important and serious issue is being turned into a circus.
Can I begin?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Before I start my public comment, I would like to take a brief moment of silence for my friends from Madison who died last year due to the opioid epidemic. Ashley Benway,
Please, name and address first.
Yes, Ashley Benway, age 29, died last year in Madison due to an opioid overdose.
We need your name and address first.
I wanted to start with a brief moment of silence considering how... Okay.
Ma'am, you have to follow our rules. Your name and address. If you don't do that, you have to sit down.
And I appreciate you really.
Understood. My name is Jessie Marie Villers. I'm from Lambertville, New Jersey.
Thank you.
As you interrupted my brief moment of silence for my friends from Madison who died last year due to the opioid epidemic, Ashley Benway, age 29, and Paula Cremosi, age 32. I guess I can't take a brief moment of silence for them.
Wow. My name is Bong Holio. The spelling of that is Bongholeleo. Okay? The first thing we're going to do, this wasn't the plan, but the first thing we're going to do is going to give a...
Address?
Yeah, I'm a Bong. You can find me on any coffee table across the state or the country. The first thing we're going to do...
Your address.
That is policy. That is not law. I am here, okay, and I'm ready to give a presentation. The first thing we're going to do is properly acknowledge Jessica's friend from Madison who overdosed on opiates with a moment of silence without you people acting like children. Moment of silence for Jessica's friend who died of opiates in Madison. You can't get no weed here. 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 Keep your pants at home here. You can't get no weed.
23, I believe, titled Medicinal Cannabis Dispensary. Let me look on that.
And so I now open the hearing for Ordinance 1. Anyone wishing to comment on Ordinance 1, please step forward. Remember the guidelines as before. Try to keep your comments to 3 minutes. We do give you 1 minute grace period, and you will be stopped at 4 minutes. Please announce your name, address, and write the same on the clipboard.
193.
193.
And so that was 193 is the...
Yeah, chapter 193.
Right.
Can I begin?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Before I start my public comment, I would like to take a brief moment of silence for my friends from Madison who died last year due to the opioid epidemic. Ashley Benway,
Please,
age...
name and address first.
Yes, Ashley Benway, age 29, died last year in Madison due to an opioid overdose.
We need your name and address first.
I wanted to start with a brief moment of silence considering how... Okay.
Ma'am, you have to follow our rules. Your name and address. If you don't do that, you have to sit down.
And I appreciate you really.
Understood. My name is Jessie Marie Villers. I'm from Lambertville, New Jersey.
Thank you.
As you interrupted my brief moment of silence for my friends from Madison who died last year due to the opioid epidemic, Ashley Benway, age 29, and Paula Cremosi, age 32. I guess I can't take a brief moment of silence for them today because that is not within your rules. I understand that. So, as I said, I'm Jessie Marie Villers from Lambertville. I'm CEO and founder of Baked by the River Dispensary and Cannabis Equity Employment. I've acted as a cannabis consultant for municipalities of Lambertville and Frenchtown. I am also a former Madison resident and graduate of Chatham High School. I have been a medical marijuana patient since 2014 and used cannabis to help overcome a chronic pain disorder and opioid addiction. Cannabis saved my life, and I am proud to say I'm now coming up on 10 years opioid-free thanks to my medical marijuana prescription. According to the 2021 study by the British Medical Journal, in the United States, there is an association between municipal cannabis dispensary counts and a reduction in opioid death rates. Allowing for medicinal dispensaries in town gives an alternative option to individuals with chronic pain, patients who are struggling with cancer diagnoses, and residents with other disabilities and illnesses. By not allowing medicinal dispensaries, Madison is choosing to readily provide access to deadly opioid prescriptions while denying access to marijuana, a medication that has never killed a person. This is a tragedy and will lead to more unnecessary deaths in this town. I also want to specifically respond to the out-of-date and stigmatized fear tactics that I've heard being used as an argument against medical marijuana access in Madison. I have heard people concerned about their children and concerned about the potential for increased crime. To that, I would like to refer the City Council to 2 studies. First, according to the Youth Risk Behavior Survey conducted nationwide in 2019, marijuana use among youth does not increase and actually has been shown to decline when legal dispensaries open, as it is more difficult for teenagers to obtain marijuana when drug dealers are replaced by licensed dispensaries that require proof of age. Secondly, according to the study by the University of New Haven in 2022, it is suggested that legalization of marijuana and subsequent opening of dispensaries has little to no adverse effect on crime rates, and actually has the potential to reduce crime rates. A statistic I also feel residents of Madison should be aware of before deciding whether or not to allow medical marijuana dispensaries is the statistic on property values. According to a study published by the Rutgers University and funded by the New Jersey State Policy Lab, the establishment of licensed cannabis businesses in a municipality is associated with increased home values. In conclusion, I encourage the City Council to consider these facts, not be swayed by outdated stigma, and table this ban to allow access to life-saving medicine to the residents of Madison.
1 minute.
By allowing medicinal access, you have the potential to reduce the number of opioid deaths in Madison, reduce youth consumption, and increase property values. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments.
Did you want me to write my name too?
Yes, please, thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment, please step forward.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is Mary Oakes, 60 Pemberton Avenue, Oceanport, New Jersey. My husband was a medical marijuana user, and he was diagnosed in 2016 with stage 4 cancer. He was given 2 months to live. My husband lived 4 years and 10 months because of the use of medical cannabis. It kept him off of oxy, every kind of opioid they wanted to shove down him to keep him pain-free. My husband was in the hospital in Robert Wood in 2018, and he had a liver resection, and the nurse came in the next morning and knocked on his morphine. And she said, "Oh, it must be broke." And he said, "Why?" She said, "There's only 5 units taken out of it." And he said, "That's because I used my medical." He had oil that he could stick under his tongue. He did not have to take 1 painkiller. So with that said, I hope you guys take such good care of your residents. I just listened to everything. You have a beautiful town. My husband and I, when my daughter was a senior in high school in 2016, Maura decided to come up here to Madison to go to FDU so she could be close to her dad. She was supposed to go to Virginia. She had a wonderful experience here, and not only that, the campus allowed my husband, when he came for visits, to go to the outside courtyard with their permission and allow him to use his medical marijuana. And I just want to tell you, it was a lifesaver. And at that point, there were not a lot of medical dispensaries anywhere in New Jersey. There were 5 or 6 of them. We had to take a round trip, 3 hours, that's without traffic, all the way down to Belmar, New Jersey, not Belmar on the shore, the one in West New Jersey. And if we were lucky, we'd get home in 4 hours. And it got to the point where I had to do those trips alone because my husband was just too sick to do them. So I really, really hope, with this said, that you guys, like you said, you take care of your residents, and I can see that in this town. It's beautiful. We spent from 2016 to 2020 coming up here, and we loved every moment of it. And my husband died in 2020 right after my daughter's graduation. He promised her in 2016 he'd be there. I rolled my eyes, didn't think he would. He made it. So please, please, reconsider medical. I don't care about recreational, but the medical part is very important. And it is also, like this young woman said about opiates, it's a lifesaver. And if you don't believe it, please go to these places and check them out. Everybody talks about crime. You go into a dispensary, okay. You go into a dispensary, it's like an upscale jewelry store. It's beautiful, it's secure, you have all off-duty police officers or retired police officers that are there. There's no crime. I've been in and out of them. I am a medical patient myself. I've been in and out of them. Never once has there ever been trouble. That's just stigma. It's an old stigma. So please, I hope you reconsider. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments and sharing your personal story. Anyone else wishing to comment on this ordinance? Please.
Hi, Sue Heffernan, Beverly Road. I've been up here a few times, so I'm not going to repeat everything I've said before, but I do want to say it was shown that medical-only cannabis is neither profitable nor sustainable here. With due respect to all the issues brought up, none of these people live in Madison. I would also like to say the Madison Chatham Coalition, which I mentioned last time, is a data-driven organization which has current statistics, not outdated, showing that a dispensary would increase access and decrease the perception of risk, which are two key contributors to teen substance use. So how does contributing to teen substance use fit with families who want to raise children in a safe and healthy environment? My last point is Colorado is 10 years ahead of us in this industry and suffering many ill effects from it. Why are we not considering the risks and ramifications? There are many more reasons not to have it in this community than there are to introduce it. So please vote, as we have repeatedly asked, to prohibit cannabis dispensaries in Madison, New Jersey. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Forward.
Hi, my name is Devin Carwithan. I live at 3 Sampson Avenue in Madison. To be honest with you, a lot of the negative parts of all this seem like it comes from a place of fear and lack of understanding. Especially if it's just for medical marijuana, I don't see how any kind of a place would increase crime or anything like that. If it's purely for medical, no one could go in recreationally and use it, so there wouldn't be the same sort of traffic or anything like that. Honestly, I think it's kind of hypocritical to allow, 4 or 5 different bars and liquor stores to sell liquor here, when if you were to actually bring it up to the FDA, I don't think liquor could pass the FDA standards right now. For something that can be consumed healthily compared to cannabis, it's night and day. You can go out right now to a bar down the street, drink as much as you want, get into a car and kill somebody, and yet you go and smoke some cannabis, you're not going to kill anybody, you're not going to abuse your wife, you're not going to, these are all things that I think are a little absurd to be so afraid of when it's something that is a medicine that helps people, when it has never killed a single person ever. I mean, this is like reefer madness insanity. We're trying to make a plant into a monster when it is literally a plant. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thanks for writing it down. Anyone else wishing to comment? Please.
Hi, Council. My name is Caitlin Santora, Niles Avenue. This will be my 3rd time speaking regarding dispensaries in our town. There's not much more to say. Just a reminder, Chatham, Summit, Florham Park, Morris Township, all banned dispensaries. Another reminder, last month, Town Hall and even its overflow room was filled with residents opposing a dispensary in Madison. There was a petition signed by almost 1,000 people who were from Madison and some non-residents who care deeply for our town and its residents and greatly oppose any dispensary in town. You need medicinal marijuana, or if you just choose to smoke weed, pop gummies, go for it. Luckily, there are dispensaries in Maplewood, 8 miles away, Union, 7 miles away, Montclair, 11 miles away, 2 in Randolph, 10 miles away, Bloomfield, Woodbridge, Elizabeth, you get it. I go to my doctor in Morristown. I bring my son to the pediatrician in New Providence, 6 miles away. If it's important enough, you'll get in your car and travel. In this...
Please.
Is this person, he's just recording me? I don't know who this person is.
We have to permit that, but we will not tolerate reaction.
Okay, great.
To our two speakers.
Great, sounds good. In the state of New Jersey, it is legal to get marijuana delivered if you have a medicinal card. We discussed and you all agreed that any medicinal dispensary here in town will not survive without it turning recreational. I'm not sure if I'm back in the twilight zone or if there's actually someone in attendance here tonight in a huge purple bong costume with a guitar. While some people here think dressing up, laughing, singing...
Excuse me, sir. You don't interrupt and put your phone down. You're not sitting there taping in her face. You already talked to. Ma'am, go on.
I'm going to repeat that sentence. In attendance here tonight in a huge purple bong costume with a guitar, while some people here think dressing up, laughing and singing, making a joke of this is appropriate. I find it insulting that a town hall meeting voting on such an important and serious issue is being turned into a circus. I have faith in this council that you will continue to take this issue seriously for those who genuinely care and live in our town. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Caitlin. Anyone else wishing to comment, please step forward.
I'd like to comment.
We can get you a wireless.
Thank you. My name is Edward Lefty Grimes. I'm with AchieveAcross.org. We're a 501c3 here in New Jersey fighting for disabled rights, cannabis patients' rights. This is an award from Senator Cody, Senator Sweeney, for our work with disabled people. It's a joint resolution. This is a congressional award for our work with disabled. So, yeah, we may be clowns, but we're very serious about helping the sick and dying. You can pass out, you can keep that. It's very serious. The disrespect of disabled vets will not be tolerated. It's absolutely disgusting. The fact that I couldn't even get in this building before is disgusting. You're putting the last. You don't even consider people in wheelchairs in this town, which is absolutely disgusting. Disabled vets are not even thought about. You can't get through. There's a 3-inch brass door that I had to get through to get into this building. That's how disabled vets are treated in this town. A 3-inch brass door where the button is broken. The button's broken. I can't even get into this building. Shameful treat of disabled vets, sick and dying people. So yeah, I'm not surprised that you're going to ban medicine. I'm not surprised that that came up because there is no love for disabled vets in this town. I'm in severe pain. I have an artificial disc. I have 2-level fusion. I should be home in East Hanover right now on a Zoom meeting, but this meeting violates Title II, and your borough attorney should know this if he's worth his money. This meeting violates Title II of the ADA. When you take away disability rights, you have a process, and you didn't follow anything in that process. You gave these rights for 19 months to healthy people. You gave us Zoom meetings for healthy people. Now disabled vets and other sick people need those meetings, and you took them away without the right process. There's no question and answer period, no grievance procedure. Where's your handicap coordinator? Do you even have one? No. We wouldn't even be here if you were banning recreational. I could care less if you ban recreational. Some towns have done that. We've been to towns that have done that. You want to ban medicine, you got a big problem. You're going to get a lot of vets out here. So, I recently met a man named Bob, who's in a wheelchair, and he talks, the way he communicates, he has a fork or a stick on his head, and he actually pecks at a screen to speak to other human beings. How are we not doing everything we can for people like Bob in his wheelchair? How are we not doing everything for people that are suffering and sick? Spend a day in a wheelchair. I tell every council to do this, and not one council person has taken me up on this. Spend a day in a wheelchair. And including your attorney, especially your attorney. Spend a day in a wheelchair and see how you feel about people in wheelchairs. Maybe you might change your mind. Leave the 99 and go back for the one. Didn't you learn that? Didn't Jesus teach you to leave the 99 and go back for the one?
Perking up over here, well, he was a Christian.
Leave the 99 and go back for the one. I hope someday the entire herd of 99 goes back for the one. But we make sure we get one to go back for the one.
1 minute.
You sell fentanyl in this town. That's family friendly. No problem with fentanyl being sold in this town. How many overdoses have we had in this town from fentanyl? I can tell you the answer. You ask your police chief. 100. You had 100 people die from fentanyl last year in this town. But you continue to sell it. You keep selling fentanyl. No problem, no, it's family friendly. Denying the sick and dying.
Denying people their medicine is anti-Christian, anti-human.
And it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Please spend a day in a wheelchair.
God is watching you.
If God would do that to Job, and God would kill Jesus, what's God going to do to somebody who's hurting my close friend who pecks at his computer with her head? What is he going to do to you for hurting him? You should be helping him and helping the sick and dying of this town. Shame on you for even considering banning medicine. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old.
That is time. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment, please step forward.
Wow. My name is Bongholio. The spelling of that is Bongholeleo. Okay? The first thing we're going to do, this wasn't the plan, but the first thing we're going to do is going to give a...
Address?
Yeah, I'm a Bong. You can find me on any coffee table across the state or the country. The first thing we're going to do...
Your address.
That is policy. That is not law. I am here, okay, and I'm ready to give a presentation. The first thing we're going to do is properly acknowledge Jessica's friend from Madison who overdosed on opiates with a moment of silence without you people acting like children. Moment of silence for Jessica's friend who died of opiates in Madison. Unreal. And you weren't letting me snicker, and you allowed this woman to pick me apart. But that's okay.
Sir, you address the council.
Well, the thing is this. I wouldn't be here either if this was recreational, okay? But I go around, I've been to 50 towns all across the state talking about medical cannabis, okay? And you're going to take away medicine? You're going to take what you're going to be in a song, okay? So we got a song here for you, okay? And you're going to be in it. Take away medicine. Can't believe what you did to our poor friend. What a childlike move that was. I've been to over 50 towns. I've never seen adults act like children. I don't know what that was, but that's why you got a snicker out of me. You can't get no weed here. 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 Keep your cancer home here. You can't get no weed. Barnegat, Berkeley, Bridgeton, Bridgewater, Brigantine, Hallstatt, Chatham, Clifton, Cranberry, East Rutherford, Elmwood, Park, Emerson, Fairfield, Holy Park, Hattiesburg Heights, Hawthorne, Levelland, Moda, Jamesburg, Hazlet, Mahwah. You can't get no weed here. 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 Keep your cancer home here. You can't get no weed. This will throw you the song. No medicine in Madison, Point Pleasant Beach, Harrison, Colville, Oakland, Oceanport, Ridgewood, Greenwood, Seaside High, Sea Gertrude, Berry, Sea Officer, City Spotswood, a free hold up side of River Wall, and Wayne. You can't get no weed here. 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 Keep your cancer home, dear. You can't get no weed. We hold West Colwell, Westwood Bridge, Westwood White House, Westwood Lane, Housing Park, Housing Park, Housing Park, Housing Park. Your wheelchair accident, Housing Park. Oh no. You can't get no weed here. 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 Keep your wheelchair home, dear. You can't get no weed. Chester, Ramsey Lane, Auburn, Vinton Park, Mansfield, Oldridge, Oldham, Ramsey, Denville, Avalon, Parsippany, Pleasantville, Saddlebrook, Bridgend.
You in this city.
Oh, God, sorry. I'm so tired. Tired of all the ignorance. That's a long meeting, too. You can't get no weed here. 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 You can't get no weed.
Please don't show my face. Please don't show my face.
Ma'am, sir, you're interrupting the speakers. You're not listening.
me. I'm sitting here. Just sitting here.
Sir, turn off your phone and taping her. You're not supposed to, you're allowed to tape a meeting, but you can sit back there and tape. You're not supposed to be in somebody's face. So, sir,
Because my wheelchair couldn't get, I'm stuck over here because you have no tape over here. There's no tape on the floor, so I can't get away from here because my wheelchair can't get over this hump right here. So, there you go. There you go. I'm stuck here.
This meeting, the speaker asked you not to have your phone in her face while she
She
speaks.
has to record her, but you're actually...
Could you please not put the phone up as close as you have it? Whatever. My name is Diane Wood, and I live on Essex Place. This is probably, doesn't have a lot, but I'm going to just say it anyway. I've been here once before, and I want to thank the council for considering the things that they've heard said by the people of Madison. In introducing these new ordinances, I believe you've listened to what the people so far have asked you. We have a little more work to do. The vote tonight is just as important as every other meeting that has been held. A lot of people here are saying that by not allowing this in Madison, you're taking the right of people to have this medical marijuana away. I don't believe that's what we're doing in Madison. I personally spoke to the town administrator in Morristown. The dispensary in Morristown is going forward. It won't be 11 miles away. It won't be 7 miles away. It'll be less than 5. As this one woman said earlier, she takes her child to the doctor in Morristown. If we need to go to the hospital, we go to the hospital in Morristown. It is close enough. It is accessible. I hope that you all continue to consider the people of Madison and how they feel about this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment, please step forward. Seeing none, I close the hearing.
Mayor, I move ordinance 1-2023.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Ms. Cohen?
Yes.
Ms. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Range?
Yes.
Mr. Harold Pudes?
Yes. I declare ordinance,
Yes. Sorry.
I declare ordinance 1-2023 adopted and finally passed, and ask the clerk to publish notice thereof in the newspaper and file the ordinance in accordance with law. Ordinance 2-2023.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison repealing Ordinance 18, 2022 to reinstate the former zone of the CC Community Commercial Zone and the Gateway Zone prohibiting medicinal cannabis dispensaries.
I open the hearing on ordinance 2, which is on zoning. Anyone wishing related to cannabis, anyone wishing to comment, please step forward.
Hi everyone, Rachel from Niles Ave. I just wanted to consider if you guys do vote to rescind, or I guess whichever way it goes, vote yes, I guess, for the dispensary, that if it does ever get called back into question, to consider looking more in depth into the zoning requirements for the location and how it can directly affect residential properties that are in the gateway zone. As being a residential property that directly abutted the license that got denied. It was a very difficult situation to be in, and it was scary from our perspective. And I think that taking that into consideration, and I want to make sure that that doesn't have to happen to any of the other residents in town. So just trying to find a location that makes sense and doesn't affect other residents in the way that it could have affected us. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment, please step forward.
Second ordinance. Second ordinance.
Hello, my name is...
The state name and again.
I'm doing that, yes. My name is Jessie Marie Villers. I'm from Lambertville, New Jersey. I'd like to take another moment of silence for Madison residents that died from the opioid epidemic in the last 5 years. Julia Sickler, Clifford Glashler. These were friends of mine who died because they had access to opioid prescriptions instead of a cannabis prescription. I also want to address, because I realize that this is specifically on zoning, and determining where cannabis dispensaries can be zoned appropriately within a town is incredibly important. I wanted to address the incredibly ableist comments from some of the members of the audience talking about how there are dispensaries opening in Morristown, there are dispensaries in Montclair. As someone who was a medicinal marijuana patient as of 2014 because of chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy, I used a mobility scooter for a matter of 5 years in order to just be able to get around. I was not able to drive myself anywhere. I was not able to drive myself to the medicinal dispensary to be able to get my prescription. And having that access, in the same way that we have access to fentanyl and opioids at any of the pharmacies here in town, that is all we're asking, is for people who have prescriptions from their doctors to be able to access their medicine in their hometown. I wasn't able to do that. Instead, I had to find people that would drive me, and it wasn't always, I could not always make it work. And so I spent a lot of time in chronic pain because I did not have access to a car to be able to drive myself to that dispensary. So it's incredibly ableist to say that because a dispensary exists in a few towns over, you have access to it. No, people with disabilities might not. I also want to reference the new dispensaries that is coming to Morristown, because I get there was a lot of concern, and there was a mention about a study about the increase of youth usage of cannabis. And I am actually very familiar with that study. It is not relevant to medicinal cannabis. It's not relevant to medicinal cannabis dispensaries, and that is what this conversation is about today. So I'd like, again, to refer the City Council to the Youth Risk Survey as of 2019 that was specific around medicinal cannabis, because it actually does reduce youth rates within the town when cannabis dispensaries open. And to think that not allowing a medicinal dispensary in town is going to reduce the amount of cannabis being bought in that town is just ignorant. Because there will be delivery services coming from Morristown, delivering cannabis to every sidewalk, every doorway, any place in Madison. And so you will be getting regular recreational marijuana sales on every street in Madison, but Madison won't be getting the tax revenue. And Madison won't have control over where those cannabis dispensaries open or what kind of cannabis businesses you allow. And so by not allowing an ordinance for cannabis in this town, you're getting rid of your own control, and you're getting rid of the potential for tax revenue for this town to be able to address things like addiction issues, to be able to fund police responses to addiction issues, to be able to fund your schools. There's just a lot of benefits and very few consequences, and you are specifically hurting people with disabilities by not allowing this ordinance by not allowing medicinal cannabis access in this town. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jessica. Anyone else wishing to comment on this ordinance?
Sue Heffernan, Beverly Road. Just one comment on zoning. We discussed last time, I think I mentioned the Paramus commercial zone, and that's appropriate. We don't feel there's any appropriate zoning here. Maybe I'm ignorant, but I don't understand why people from Lawrenceville, who's located down by Princeton and are talking about not wanting to travel far, are so concerned about us having it here. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment, please step forward. Seeing none, I close the hearing.
I'm wheeling forward.
Yep.
Lefty Grimes, TivaCross.org, 501c3
Here in New Jersey, fighting for ignorance, like we just heard. I'd like grassroots Susie to spend a day in a wheelchair. Maybe that's the first time we should see her in a wheelchair. Let her go around, and somebody else to spend a day in a wheelchair.
Please direct comments.
Yeah, I'm going to direct it towards you. Why don't you spend a day in a wheelchair too, and see how you like it? How about you pick out a screen in your head and see how you like it? Nobody's helping you. How about you, borough attorney? I'm going to be suing you guys, not only for your door and for your lack of access to Zoom meetings, because I should be home right now watching this on Zoom. And this is ridiculous, because you're violating Title II of the ADA, you're violating the ADA by not having access, and you're violating human rights by not having medicine available to sick people. You got people in wheelchairs that can't get out, that have no money. What do you expect them to get in the car and just go somewhere? How far do you expect someone to wheel themselves in a wheelchair? How far?
please address your comments.
How far do you want them to wheelchair? I'm asking, how far can you go in a wheelchair? Not too far, can you? It's not fun. It's not fun. I got an electric wheelchair. I'm talking about the ones that you gotta push, where you get glass on your hands when you go over glass. You get dog poop on your hands when you go over dog poop. Things that you gotta realize. There's police stations that we have no access in New Jersey. It's called institutional ableism. Post offices in New Jersey without access. Police stations, libraries, all kinds of stuff. You do research on us and you'll see we're not joking around. We're here for a reason because you guys are ableists. You guys are hurting the sick and the dying and we're calling an ad on it. And we're going to sue you. Get your attorney ready because we're going to sue you. You have dropped the ball. You're the worst city attorney ever. Ever. And we're going to prove it. Disgusting display of Christianity and anything that I've ever seen. Awful. Putting the left first. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Thanks for nothing.
How are you, Madison? This is me unbonged. Okay?
Sir, your name and your address.
Again, that's policy, that's not a law.
It is.
I believe in my right for privacy, and I don't want to be discriminated on where I live geographically.
Sir?
All of the finger pointing that's been going on about direct me, direct that. You let that lady direct me and make fun of me because of the way I was looking. You let her discriminate against me, all of you. You all let it happen. You let this happen, and you stopped every other finger point. You did that. I watched you do it. I watched all of you act like children when poor Jessica was acknowledging her friend from Madison who died of an opiate overdose here in Madison, because that's a Madison issue. But what did we do? We acted like children. I've been in so many towns, I've never saw that. I never saw that. But you know what she did? She got you. We know why you're freaking out. We know why you're scared. We know what you're trying to hide. The opiate epidemic. That's what you're trying to hide. You want to sweep that under the rug. And you want to ban medicine that cannot kill you. And you want to trash talk people who are not from the town. And you look different. And you wear clothes that's funny. It's all circus to you. You guys are all children. All right? Children are not ignorant like you guys. All right? And I'm allowed to say whatever I want. I am not breaking the law. Okay? So you can have this whole policy strong arm thing. Or you know what? This is going to be really, it's not going to be, the pain that you put on patients by banning medicine can't compare to the pain that you guys are experiencing right now. Oh no!
Mr. Grimes, you're allowed to film.
Stop! This is my moment. Please, let me have my moment.
You keep interrupting me.
Please, okay? I've been interrupted plenty of times. All the pain you want to put on patients,
Gavel them down.
and you're worried about the pain for the 4 minutes.
Sir, you guys are out of control. The bottom line is you didn't give us your name or your address. You keep on addressing.
What law have I broken?
Sir, this is called the Open Public Meeting Act, and we set the rules for
And that protects me.
discussion.
I have privacy rights. I do not have to tell you where I live. I do not have to choose to be discriminated.
You're incorrect, sir. The bottom line is,
well, this was I was trying to finish. Look at this. And this whole thing is just look at this. The whole thing's a joke at this point.
This is ridiculous. Look at this. This is, I'm trying to get out of here. This is ridiculous.
Mr. Grimes, if you stopped, we could have helped you.
Help me out. You took away our medicine. I'm Morris County.
We're going to get that. Stop a second. Okay, thank you. I think we've lost our microphone there.
We did.
We'll have to use the wireless. Anyone else wishing to comment, please step forward.
My name is John Dew. I live at 25 Hillcrest Road. Proud to be here. And as far as I'm concerned, I earn the right to be here. Okay? People from out of town, I don't appreciate, and I don't like.
I'm going to hand over.
John, you must only address the council.
sir, excuse me, Lefty, back up. You're interrupting people. Back up.
He just interrupted.
You know what? Let's get the police in here. I'm gonna get the police in here because you're so out of control.
Should I hit the button? They're calling.
Tom,
All right, I'm sorry, John.
I'm alarmed that people who don't even live here can come in here and twice get a chance to speak, not even speak, just be rude to everybody who have already expressed their desire not to have this in the town. And I say this is just an example of the kind of rudeness that's going to continue with this kind of attitude from people out of town coming here that we don't need. They can get their drugs or whatever they want somewhere else, okay? They can do that somewhere else. And I'm proud to be here. And so I'm glad I'm here. And every day I'm here, I thank God that I am here. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You want to meet, okay? You can't have both ways.
It does. Mr. Grimes, you cannot speak right now. Anyone else wishing to comment, please step forward.